Hi guys, it's Nicole, and today I am back with Sarah Scraps, and we are continuing with Creating with Collections Volume 4 using the Cocoa Vanilla Storyteller line. If you have been a viewer on my channel for a while, you know that this is a series that I like to do, and with Volume 4, Sarah is participating along with me. That does kind of change up when I post, but I didn't go into this one with the mentality of like hurry and sit with it and stay with it. I kind of like picking it up and putting it away. I've noticed that I get a little bit less bored with the supplies when I take a break from it. So actually collaborating with Sarah and kind of figuring out what dates we're going to post on has actually been good for me. This specific layout and footage is the last one that I started at a crop, which was actually a couple months ago at this point. I started the page there and then brought it home, and I didn't finish it until a few days ago when I was kind of itching to get back into this collection, and I pulled it out and realized that I had not finished this page. So I ended up finishing this page and jumping in and making, I think, two more. I've got plans for another two, but I kind of think that I need to go and sort through all my supplies and kind of photograph the state of my kit and then keep going. I do kind of like to do that because for me it's like a visual representation of how much of the kit I've used, how much is left, and then kind of a better focus on what specifics are left, and then that kind of transitions how I pre-plan my layouts in a sense. And I'm hoping that when I go to do that video, I can kind of explain it a little bit better, just my thought process around it, because that's typically the question that I get in my Facebook group is the thought process behind things, and sometimes I don't know what to say other than it makes my brain happy. But this layout is going to be a double page layout. It is using a Scrapbook Generation sketch that was from a paid for bundle, so I'm not going to be able to show the sketch. I will link the bundle down in the description box because I'm pretty sure I did leave it out. I'm pretty sure it's one of the 4x6 focused bundles that I was working through at this time, because I tend to go with the 4x6 themed sketches when I'm doing like family photos, because a lot of times I want those full images. But looking at that little 3x3 off to the side, I'm not 100% sure. So, and like I said, I started this layout a while ago. I kind of just did the bare bones while I was at the crop, where I figured out what papers I was going to use, cut them down, attached them. For some reason, I was really struggling to get this first strip of paper to be like straight, and I'm not really sure what my problem was. I kind of think that I struggle in general when I have like a small space and I kind of have to be neat and stay in my area. Whereas at home, I can kind of just take over all the available space. So who knows what my issue was on this day. But again, following a sketch, this is a good sketch for me in particular because I do kind of like to just have big sections of pattern paper like this, and then a lot of times I will add a small strip of another paper, whether it's like a solid cardstock or in this case a wood grain. Sometimes I like to have that delineation that breaks up the patterns because that's what looks good to me. That may not look good to you. Sometimes I won't do it if I do something like ink the edges of the pattern papers, because that kind of helps separate them as well. In this instance, I'm trying to focus on using up these pattern papers. So for me, I went with I just cut a couple thin strips of that wood grain to use to kind of buffer between the patterns. Apparently on this day, I was really struggling to cut my photos straight too, which, not surprising. Sometimes when I'm having struggle moments like this, I will end up editing them out of the video. Today I didn't. I was like, you know what, just leave it in there. I don't have a ton of footage just because this was broken up into so many like little sessions of sitting down that I was like, you know what, just leave everything in here. And other people with memberships to the struggle bus will probably appreciate just sometimes how hard it is to cut a photo straight. And again, I wish I had left that sketch out. It's probably sitting out here somewhere. Now I'm questioning whether it was a 4x6 bundle. It may have just been like a 2-page bundle. Who knows? When I get to the point where I'm putting my video into YouTube and I'm getting links and different things for you guys, that's usually when I go over to Scrapbook Generation and go looking for the sketch bundle that I used. And usually I can kind of find it either in my orders or I can kind of just remember what the front of it looks like. And I was scrolling this morning and I saw that they just dropped a new 2-page sketch bundle, and I'm already like, dang it. Like, it's like crack. I need them to take a longer break between dropping sketch bundles because they're so good. So I'm probably going to go look at that later today and kind of zoom in on the little details that they give you in the like marketing image, just to kind of see if I think it's something that I would like. I don't always go straight for the double page sketches, but lately I've been tempted, so we'll see. So apparently I'm still gluing down paper and photos. I tend to just line up my 2 pages to try to get things to meet in the middle instead of measuring up from the bottom. If I have to measure something, it's probably going to be wrong, so I just put my papers together in the middle and carry everything over. I'm kind of glad I didn't finish this one while I was there, mostly just because I ended up like changing my mind on some stuff when I got home, and I was able to move some things around because I hadn't gone like super far in the process, I guess. That makes 0 sense, but if you've been a long time viewer, you know the drill. We're here for entertainment. We're here for some scrappy inspiration. We're not here for like a super professional explanation of how to do something. I did use some more of the floral die cuts. I wish that I had been like Sarah and was smart enough to buy 2 packs of these. Knowing how much I liked these, I kind of know that if I even outside of a Creating with Collections series, if I buy Cocoa Vanilla anything again, I think I'm going to buy 2 packs of their florals because they were so easy to use. I'm having more struggles with the other pack of die cuts, which I guess would have been, the ephemera or something like that. Which I think on this layout, I only managed to use that little Hello Beautiful banner, which, spoiler alert, I'm going to end up covering it up here in a minute because, like I said, when I got this home and I started working on finishing it, I kind of ran into an issue and I had to pivot. I also lost the footage of me doing the journaling strips, but if you've watched any of the last, I'd say 4 or 5 videos from me, I just type out my journaling and I cut it with that Hero Arts sentiment strip die, and then I stack 2 or 3 layers together. Usually just kind of depends on if I want it to be like a flat look with a little bit of dimension, and then if I want a lot of dimension, I use foam strips. I had noticed that on the page that I did that was the photos of just my son, he had like a big bold title because it was a cut to you cut file. So I was like, you know what? Normally I would be okay without having a title on this, but I was like, I kind of feel like it needs to not match, but kind of be cohesive with his page as well. So I dug through those foam titles, which, again, they're not my favorite. I like the font, I like the phrases. I just kind of wish that maybe these had been done in like a charcoal or a navy. I think that's just because me personally, I struggle with black sometimes. So I was just like, you know what, just go ahead and go with it. It was around this point that I realized that I had basically picked the same phrase that's on that little banner piece on the right. And normally it wouldn't bother me, but for whatever reason, my headspace today, it was bugging me. So I was like, you know what, just go ahead and use the Hello Beautiful version in the foam, and I can probably find something to cover up the Hello Beautiful, and I'll kind of have a win-win situation because it means I'm going to find a method to get some more product used up and some more stuff on this page, even though it's layered and you can't really see it. So this is kind of where I was like, okay, is there anything on here that I can use? I actually ended up finding a third instance of Hello Beautiful, and it didn't even occur to me until I was done that I probably could have just had three of them on there, and it would have been like the weirdest triangle. But instead, I just found a phrase that I was like, this will work. It wasn't quite long enough to completely cover it, so I went ahead and just found one of these little like buttons, and I'm just going to kind of cover up the end. I basically just kind of went looking for anything that was yellowish because the florals on that side were yellow, because I had lined up my florals to match on like the rainbow stripes. So I don't know if you can tell with like the blue, the yellow, and the red is near the blue, yellow, and red stripes. So I'm going to stop rambling here. Link below for Sarah's video or her channel, so go look for her video there, link to the Facebook group, and anything else I can think of, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye!